Thank you, Dan. Good evening once again. West Brom are well used to the bumps in the road when trying to exit the Championship back onto life in the fast lane, and 3 successive draws have already prompted some grumbles about the playing staff and fans yet to adapt to the practicalities of life under Valerian Ismail. Queen's Park Rangers were a case study in how not to survive at the highest level and paid a heavy, drawn-out price for living the dream. But Mark Warburton has used the now gained from life as a city trader and a successful manager at both Brentford and Rangers to suggest they could be ready to at least challenge this time around. A reminder of the two sides, one change for West Brom following that 1-1 draw at Deepdale last week against Preston. Carlin Grant comes back in to lead the line. Jordan Hugel is on the bench. Johnston in goal, Ajayi, Barkley and Townsend the back three. Ajayi was a doubt before this game, but okay for the start at least. Furlong, Livermore, Mowat and Weech across the middle, with Phillips and Diangana supporting Grant. The Queen's Park Rangers, 4 changes in total following that dramatic victory on penalties against Everton in the Carabao Cup on Tuesday. It is Dieng in goal, Dickey, Dunn and Device, all the D's at the back. Onabajo, Johansson, Ball and Barbe across the middle, with Chair and Willett either side of Gray. And Matt Murray, perfect night for football. You could not get any better conditions, but I think the home fans here would like to see a change in approach, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see, because if we're drawing the last 3 games, I still think you're always going to see, if there's any sort of pressure from this QPR side pressing, then Sam Johnson or any defenders are going to get the ball forward and look to hit the front men and get it up there and then pick up the seconds. But I do believe against this QPR side that will be, with a back 5 at times, if they don't try and get players in pockets, if they don't try and play when it's on to play sometimes, then they will turn over possession too much, and I don't think they will come out with a result. So I think that the players here, yes, there's lots of things that Valerian Ismail, in my opinion, will and should still stick with: the high line, the pressing and looking to regain it. But it will be interesting to see, listen to Jake Livermore's notes and with the recent results, if there is a slight tweak in his style. So but yeah, there'll be some things that he will never ever change on.
West Brom will get the game underway in their home kit, a very wide dark blue stripe down the front and back of their shirts. And Queen's Park Rangers also in their home strip as well, the blue and white hoops, but a good deal to distinguish both sets of players, as there is applause all around the Hawthorns as both sets of players take the knee before kick-off. And once again, the football weekend gets underway on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, and it's a big game tonight at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion looking to go back to the top of the Championship. Queen's Park Rangers hoping to reel them in and move back into the playoff places. Diangana quickly moving forward now for Albion on this near side there right, cuts in field towards the edge of the area but heads into traffic, and Johansson is able to find Device and he clears downfield. And now Andre Gray on the halfway line had a good run forward from Elias Chair, but it was quickly cut out by Townsend, and it will be a throw in to Queen's Park Rangers on the far side.
Well, so far then, Nigel,
here's a run forward from Gray. He's onside. Johnston is some way out, and Queen's Park Rangers have the dream start. 43 seconds played. Andre Gray sprinting through, onside. Johnson head out of his area. He was nowhere, and Gray with a very composed finish. And on a ground where they often struggle, Queen's Park Rangers make the highest of flying starts. West Bromwich Albion 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Well, that's answered a few things. So first and foremost, we thought, would West Brom go direct? Well, they did straight away. Possessions there, but definitely Andre Gray has timed his run to perfection. There's that high line of West Brom. QPR get the ball, play it down the side, but because Sam Johnson is asked to be out there sweeping up, that's why he's so far right at the edge of his box. What form is Andre Gray in? How's his confidence been? Well, I'll tell you what, that was one confident finish. Just to tuck the ball past the goalkeeper, and he made his mind up because Sam's there without, and he just tucks it past him into the unguarded net. What a start for QPR.
Well, they've not won here since Premier League days back in April of 2015, when Charlie Austin, Bobby Zamora and Joey Barton were all on the score sheet in a 4-1 win. They were beaten here 7-1 back in August of 2018, and Queen's Park Rangers took West Brom all the way in their previous visit, when a point on the final night of the season saw West Brom head back to the Premier League. But that is the issue when you play such a high line. Your goalkeeper has to be the sweeper, and he was comprehensively caught out there.
Yeah, he just couldn't get there, but that's why Andre Gray's in the side. You looked at it and you thought, why has that change been made? And yeah, Andre Gray is in the side to exploit that. And also you asked in the build-up about Mark Warburton, knowing all about him and getting the best out of him. I'll tell you what, he took that goal so well. First chance, because that sometimes it may be levelled at Andre Gray before. Has he been clinical enough? But yeah, the game plan for QPR has worked to perfection there.
2 minutes played. Queen's Park Rangers lead at the Hawthorns by a 1-0, and their fans, who have travelled in good numbers, are right behind their team here, as the Albion fans are rather stunned by what they've seen. But they do have the first opportunity to see a long throw here from Furlong on this near side, using a towel to dry the ball, hurls it long and high into the 6-yard area. Dieng stays on his line, and it's cleared as far as Diangada. Low shot from him is just wide, hit it left-footed through a forest of legs. I'm not sure Dieng had it covered, but he was relieved.
Yeah, wow, what a tempo to this game. It was brilliant. It's brilliant. The atmosphere is there, perfect conditions, and all the bits that we knew were going to be a component of this game. So there's the towel given to Furlong, long throw coming in, and again, Mark Warburton, as much as he want to exploit the high line, he knows if his team are going to get a result tonight, they're going to have to stand up to these long throws and set pieces. And first one has been repelled, if you like, but that shot from the edge of the box, difficult for Dieng, body's in the way, just wide, and would have been very interesting if it was on target.
It looks like Barbe is playing as one of the three central defenders, and Jimmy Dunn may be the wing-back. Or having said that, they've just moved back inside. Dunn had come to this wide area for the goal kick from Dieng. 4 minutes played. Queen's Park Rangers leading by a 1-0. Albion yet to lose this season, 4 wins and 4 draws, 2 points behind Bournemouth at the top of the table, although they have drawn their previous 3 games, as Grant looks to bring it forward wide on the far side, but he's forced even further wide and eventually delivers a cross in which is charged down, and James Linnington, the referee, has given the first corner to West Brom.
Yeah, so another set piece that they're going to have to, deal with, get the first contact on. It's been a good response from West Brom. Interesting there, as you say. QPR, you often see play out from the back, but they're sending the big centre half up to be the out ball for Dieng to hit with a kick. But I'm sure, will they play this one short? They often play the first one short.
Low ball into the penalty area, following the short corners, cleared out as far as Furlong. A dart to the byline, cuts it back, and in the end it was blocked, and then the ball back into the penalty area took a touch off Furlong. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
So that's again something, whenever you speak to clubs who play against West Brom, very often their first corner of the game is a short and trying to be inventive one, and then after that other ones will be whipped in. And again, QPR were very well switched on, and no set pieces, you see them, every teams have set piece coaches, everything, and they're such a big part of the game. So yeah, Jimmy Dunn again has come out to this left touchline for Seny Dieng to hit.
Dunn heads it down the line, now gathered by Ajayi on this near side. Gray all over his back, and he concedes the free kick, but Andre Gray with a wag of the finger towards the referee. But the free kick's been given. Here was Ajayi now for West Bromwich Albion once again, lofted over the top, down the right, looking for Furlong. Early cross into the penalty area is beyond Grant initially. Now picked up on the far side by Reach. He's supported by Townsend. Mowat wants the ball on the edge of the area. Townsend comes in field, and now he has given the ball away, and there's an opportunity for Queen's Park Rangers to break with Willock. Wide to Chair now, down the right-hand side, early cross into the penalty area. Gray got there ahead of Ajayi, but couldn't direct the shot towards goal in the end. But once again, West Bromwich Albion were waiting on the cross, and Queen's Park Rangers were quickest to react. Here is Barbe, down the left-hand side, low in towards Johansson on the corner of the penalty area. Mowat comes in with a challenge. He was then caught in the act of clearing him. It's a free kick to West Brom, but they could have been 2 down.
Yeah, it could have been. So some good play from West Brom. Ball whipped in, bodies weren't in the box. But again, you can see that with QPR, when they get that ball up top with players driving, and they're getting those blue and white hoops there to join in play, and could have again come to a dangerous scenario, but just escaped by West Brom.
Dieng looking to break on this near side, but in his eagerness to get the ball, he commits the foul on Dunn, and it will be a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers once again, who lead here on TalkSport 2 with 7 minutes played, the home of the EFL. A goal inside the first minute from Andre Gray. Queen's Park Rangers losing their previous 2 games to Bournemouth and Bristol City, but of course they did beat Everton in an EFL Cup shootout, having led twice at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium on Tuesday evening, so there'll be no lack of confidence in their squad. And Mark Warburton does seem to have the depth to make 1 or 2 changes now.
Yeah, he does. It's a good squad there. Obviously, he'd be disappointed he's lost both his left wing backs, but so far, Barbe's done well out here, and every time there's a kick, QPR are not trying to play out from the back at all. Sending Dieng already heard a few whistles, trying to slow the game down. Why not? The 1-0 up. Already wind up the home fans. But yeah, he's definitely building a pretty decent squad here, Mark Warburton.
Barbe will take a throw in for Queen's Park Rangers on this near side, looking for Chair, who rather jumps into the challenge with Bartley, doesn't win it. Quickly played forward by Livermore up to the halfway line, but Device is there to play the ball away, and now it's down the line quickly again for Odubajo down the right-hand side. He's got some pace, looks to go beyond his man, but he's just levered off the ball by Townsend. But Queen's Park Rangers do have a throw-in on the far side, and at the moment, with 9 minutes played, Matt, they are playing the smarter football.
Well, Warburton will be delighted. Every bit of his game plan to say they've exploited the high line, got a very early goal, looked good defending set pieces, and you can see, I thought that could have been a foul there on Chair.
Chair seemed to be taken out there by Reach on the far side, but a throw-in's been given. Possibly the officials believe that Chair had just run the ball too far and then bought the contact.
But it looked, well, it's either a foul because there wasn't.
Or he dived.
Yeah. Because if you give the throw to West Brom, that would suggest that West Brom didn't get the touch. I didn't think they kicked it off him, but that's why Chair looked disappointed. He thinks it should at least been their throw, but he's not lively. Willett looks lively. Just getting frustrated there, Chair. Yeah.
Chair has conceded a free kick on the far side, and he picks up the ball and slams it into the turf in frustration. And James Lillington, the referee, will just have 1 or 2 words.
Yeah, I can see, and that's all the referee needs to say. I think he's a bit frustrated. A few things haven't gone his way. West Brom know that what a dangerous player he is. They're getting bodies around him. But I feel this front 3 of QPR looking very, very dangerous. Getting other bodies committed. I think the midfield really complement each other in Ball and Johansson. So yeah, good start from QPR.
Lovely turn from Diangana. Tries to thread it through to Grant, but it's cut out by Device, and now Dickey will play it forward for Queen's Park Rangers. But Townsend, the left-sided central defender, brings it forward for West Brom. Slid into the penalty area for Diangana. Cut back in field, and it was Livermore who was supporting the attack along with Grant. But once again, it's cleared away. Headed back over the top, though, by Bartley. The bounce of the ball favours Reach as he nods it towards the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area. But now Mowat gathers for West Brom, finds Phillips. The ball back towards Mowat is quickly cut out. Reach, though, does well to keep it in play, or at least he thought he did, but the assistant on the far side has given a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers. It is breathless stuff. 10 minutes played on TalkSport 2, and it's West Brom 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
Yeah, as you say, breathless stuff. It is a real tempo to this game. Both teams counter-pressing as soon as the opposition get it, looking to stretch the pitch, sometimes playing, other times just not being scared to turn the opposition's defence. So yeah, a real tempo to this game. But I'm enjoying it, and there's some real quality at times as well.
Valerian Ismail standing there, arms folded on the edge of the West Brom technical area. He is a very impressive figure. A very decent career as a player, winning the Bundesliga with both Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich. French central defender come defensive midfielder, and he has very clear ideas on how football should be played as Ajayi strides forward now for Queen's Park Rangers, threads it through to Diangana, who was onside into the penalty area down the right, and I think he tried to go for goal from the corner of the 6-yard area, and it turned out to be a very effective clearance.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I thought surely that must have hit a defender for a player of his quality in that position to miss by so far, but it was, as you say, it was like a shot that was a very, very effective clearance. Great play though, Ajayi stepping in, breaking the line, good movement, and they're the moments that Valérien Ismaël will say, you've got to be more clinical, should at least be working the goalkeeper there.
Odebajo plays it back towards Seny Dieng. Now low from Dickey up towards Willock, who's had a very good start to the season for Queen's Park Rangers. Lovely football again from Queen's Park Rangers as Barbe finds Willock down the left hand side, but under pressure from Ajayi, he just runs it out to play. But it's a fascinating clash in styles at the moment. We know West Brom are looking for the high press and the vertical football, as Valérien Ismaël calls it, but West Brom are seeing Queen's Park Rangers play through that press with some lovely passing.
I was just thinking there, the way they beat that press was excellent. You know, it was set up well from West Brom. They tried to make it be predictable, but all the options are there, all the times of the movement, and if Chris Willock hadn't overrun the ball there, they were out of that press, and it got in the other side of Ajayi. So yeah, some very, very composed, intelligent football from QPR.
Furlong throws it short towards Diangana, and he's done well to ride a challenge and find Grant, who can break towards the edge of the penalty area. Low right foot shot from him is a comfortable save for Dieng.
Yeah, it was easy. Good play from West Brom. Ball dived in a little bit, but what was good from a QPR point of view was the recovery runs, bodies to get around it, but still Grant maybe could have slipped the player on the outside to his left. Was it Reach coming in, but he decided to go for the shot. But yeah, routine save for Seny Dieng.
Dieng, wearing all lilac, clears downfield for Queen's Park Rangers, looking for Gray, but it's headed down by Chair. And Odebajo on the far side will quickly find Ball, who is a very solid presence at the heart of the Queen's Park Rangers midfield, and he'll give Stephanie Hansen more licence to try and get forward and create. A long ball downfield from Rangers is headed away by Townsend, but Ball quickly wins it back, and he's found Chair down the right hand side, and he goes down again, claiming he was barged over by Mowat, and once again the referee is not interested. But here is Willock for Queen's Park Rangers, midway inside the Albion half. Has support from Ball, low in towards Chair on the half turn. He breaks towards the edge of the penalty area, left foot shot from him, never quite got hold of it, and it was gathered by Sam Johnston.
Yeah, he didn't get hold of it, but as you say, Ball's there, isn't he? Breaks things up, keeps it simple, but good turn from Chair, but easy save.
Now Diangana wide to the right hand side, and Furlong, who cuts in Phil onto his left foot, back onto the right, and he tried a cheeky chip in the end, but Dieng was right behind it.
Yeah, so again, decision making into a good position. Great, you know, of the ball, Sam Johnson, quick attack, few seconds, right down into QPR's box, good play. But I just think Furlong there, when he cut inside his left, could he have picked a pass? Or once he's then come back onto his right, that finish was all wrong for me. It was a very easy save. Go hard and low, try and put it through a defender's legs, and then Dieng would have had problems. But yeah, easy save. And again, for Valérien Ismaël, we were disappointed with the end product.
15 minutes played, West Bromwich Albion 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1 on TalkSport 2. 4 Premier League commentaries across the TalkSport network tomorrow. On TalkSport at 12:30, Chelsea against Manchester City at the same time here on TalkSport 2. Manchester United against Aston Villa, a game which is not on UK TV. Game day live on TalkSport from Watford against Newcastle with Adrian Durham. That's followed by Brentford against Liverpool at 5:30. Everton against Norwich is here on 2 at 3 o'clock. And on Sunday on TalkSport 2, a double header of big games from the Women's Super League at 12:30. Manchester United against the reigning champions Chelsea. And then at 6:45, intriguing game between Arsenal, who have made such a good start to the season, and Manchester City, who were beaten at home by Spurs in a shock result in their previous game. West Brom with a throw in on the far side, and following the clarion call from Jake Livermore. There is no doubt the crowd are behind their team. There's been a real buzz and real positivity off the field so far, despite the very early goal for Queen's Park Rangers as Reach looks to chase on the far side. Naturally left-footed, of course, but it's out of play, and it will be a goal kick for Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, the fans have stayed with them because after such a bad start, you didn't know how it would be. It was still interesting there with a ball over the top that Sam Johnson ended up volleying first time, side-foot volleying, where a usual goalkeeper starting position who just ran through into his box, but turned possession over. But that's again what he's asked to do.
Willock finds Barbet, long diagonal switch of play from him, looking for Gray, using his pace to try and harry Townsend, but the ball's even too quick for him on this occasion, and it will be a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion, 10 yards from the corner flag on the far side, their left. 17 minutes played, Rangers leading by a goal to nil very early on from Andre Gray. And the throw-in will be taken by Adam Reach, who could prove to be a very handy signing for West Bromwich Albion following Sheffield Wednesday's relegation. Now Phillips in full flight for the home side. Down the left-hand side, he's got support in field. It's quickly cut out by Dickey, who did well under pressure from Grant to hook the ball away around the penalty spot. Headed back over the top by Barkley, and then a leap from Dunn over the shoulder of Dean Garner, who went down, but no free kick given, but Albion still have the ball. Here is Phillips once again. Has the opportunity to come in field and find Mowat, but it's cut out by Dickey. And Rangers, who are playing much the more constructive football so far, look to break again here with the tiny scurrying figure of Chair just inside his own half. Draws Livermore towards him, then just pokes it back towards the Dutchman, Device. And now Dickey wide towards ball, and there's a real balance to the way Queen's Park Rangers are looking to play.
Yeah, and now Sandy Yang's put his foot through it, but there's been times when they just put the ball on it, had some controlled possession. Andre Gray up here, there's no clean headers for the defenders of West Brom when balls do come up, but yeah, they're mixing it up really, really nicely, not scared to try and beat the press at times, get good positions when West Brom are getting into wide areas. I think the back three look very, very well drilled, and Dunn so far has fitted in nicely and been quite aggressive with some of his headers that have come up because he knows that West Brom will want to pick up the second. So yeah, I really think Mark Warburton will be so happy with the first, what, we're nearly 20 minutes in now, so it's a very, very good start.
And that goal from Andre Gray means that Queen's Park Rangers have now scored in their last 20 league games.
Wow.
And that equals a record which was set in 1987 when Queen's Park Rangers were top of the old First Division. More on that in a moment. Here is Furlong, former Queen's Park Rangers player. Lovely ball into the area, and that deserved somebody at the far post to apply the finish, but there was nobody there.
Yeah, the most joy for West Brom is coming down this right-hand side, and I think it was a pretty good ball there into that second 6-yard box, if you like, for players to run into. But again, QPR looked imbalanced, so even though the cross was going to come in the middle, all the players were there. And would have been probably a QPR player who'd have got the clearance on it. Senny Dieng already being warned by James Linnington because he's just taking his time over those goal kicks.
20 minutes played, a bit early for that. West Brom 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. On that run of scoring, 20 games now for Queen's Park Rangers. It was ended back in 1987 by a 2-goal defeat at Oxford in the old First Division after they started the season with 6 wins and a draw, and they were just behind Liverpool at the top of the old First Division, and that was a very, very good Liverpool team. The first season for John Barnes at Anfield, and Rangers eventually finished as London's top team that season, and they've not done that on too many occasions since. Now Livermore infield towards Mowat, the double pivot at the heart of the West Brom team. Furlong, who is still wearing that facial mask, finding Mowat again. Now Livermore, who is the furthest player forward briefly. Grant pokes it wide to the far side and Reach. And support from Townsend. The challenge comes in from Adebayo. And at least a throw-in, possibly a free kick's been given. In fact, it's a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion on the far side, taken quickly by Reach. No offside, of course. It's gathered on the byline by Grant. A high ball swirled into the area by Reach, over the head of Dean Garner. But he's quick enough to retrieve the ball on this near side, the right. Left-footed cross into the area, headed away by the peroxide rinse of Device. And now Chair keeps the ball in play on this near side. He's gone beyond Dean Garner, but not Ajayi. And then Livermore with a couple of very firm challenges, but he won the ball cleanly on the ground. Mowat tries to bring it forward, but all a bit tight there for West Brom, and Willett can bring it forward for Queen's Park Rangers again. He was looking to switch to the right, and then he's cleaned out by Mowat, who was late and high in the centre circle. And it's a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers, and Mowat maybe slightly fortunate not to receive the game's first yellow card.
Yeah, a bit more than slightly. That is lenient refereeing. I mean, that is absolutely crunched him with that challenge. Willett turned, didn't really know what was there, and he just come in from the side, scythed him down. That is a yellow all day.
Now Willett coming forward for Queen's Park Rangers down the right from the free kick. Has support from Adebayo, who will come in field, but his run towards goal is halted by Barkley, who just jabs it out of play, and it will be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers. And we can just hear the odd grumble from the home fans now.
Yeah, they're frustrated because when they've got into attacking areas, I think QPR looks so well drilled. You saw Barbet against Dean Garner. Okay, the cross comes in, but the line of the QPR defence is excellent. And then QPR look dangerous, don't they? When they're coming forward, they look a real threat.
And now Adebayo has gone down right in front of the assistant on the far side, but no free kick has been given again, and Rangers maybe believing that they've not had one or two decisions inside West Brom territory. With 23 minutes played on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. West Brom 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Andre Gray scoring within 43 seconds right at the start of this game. And Queen's Park Rangers have been second best since. Another long ball played forward, looking for Dean Garner. Dunn will guide it back to Dieng, who takes a touch onto his right foot and then booms it long downfield. Barkley wins the header, but it's quickly cut out by Barbet. Johansson wide towards Dunn, the former Burnley player, who trying to find Chair on the halfway line, but it's cut out by Furlong. He moves forward, he then goes down under the challenge of Dunn, and once again, well, the referee seemed to let it go, and now he's given a free kick to West Brom on the edge of the area.
Surely his assistant gave that, because the referee, again, you're thinking lenient, because it did look like Dunn came in a little bit. It was his pass, wasn't it? Intercepted by Furlong, ball played through, and then it just looked like Dunn did come into sort of the back of Furlong, and I do feel it is a foul, but the referee has let that go, and I'm sure it's his assistant that has flagged to give that, and this is a free kick now in a very, very dangerous position.
Alex Mowat is over it. Scored 8 times for Barnsley last season under Valerian Ismail, and he was quick to bring him here to the Hawthorns when he arrived to replace Sam Allardyce. Phillips also expressing an interest, as is Furlong. And there are 5 players now in the Queen's Park Rangers wall. With 25 minutes played, Rangers have had the opportunities to get the second goal here, but West Brom with a set piece now to try and level the scores. Furlong may leave it to Mowat, and that's what he does. Mowat will curl it, left-footed low and into the wall. The wall jumped, but it still caught somebody's ankle, and it's cleared away initially. Back to Furlong. He tries to slash a shot towards goal, right-footed. But against his former club, it was high over the top.
Mowat will be very disappointed with that. He said he scored 8 goals last season. He's got real quality from that range. I didn't think the wall was going to jump, because it seems this day and age when walls are jumping, then they lie somebody down on the floor. What's
happened to the draft excluder? It's not impression, is it?
Yeah, so I thought maybe that might be there, but it did jump, but it still caught the ankles. So it was he's obviously tried to go over the wall, didn't catch it anywhere near correctly. Again, the whistles telling Senny Dieng to get on with the kick, but that's a good opportunity, and they've not even worked the goalkeeper again.
Furlong leaping high above Dunn to head it forward for West Brom, and now Furlong again into the path of Phillips, laid off to Livermore. Furlong down the right will try and bring the ball forward, but Device does well to cut it out when off balance, and here is Ball all the way back towards his goalkeeper, and the back pass, just interesting, Carlin Grant for a second, it's cleared downfield, and then Barkley wins 2 headers, and both of them go straight up into the air. The third one by Mowat eventually finds Ajayi, and it's Hoof long downfield again. And there's no doubt that after a positive opening 20 minutes or so here, the crowd are getting a bit bored in seeing the ball just being lumped up in the air.
Yeah, I think they wanted to see a little bit more quality, because they've definitely got the personnel to do that. There's been times when they've got the ball to Furlong and they've looked a threat, but it's QPR that
we've got to say, not Queen's Park Rangers fans, because their team are playing some decent football. I was just going to say, I feel that they're the ones that are having the more controlled spells of possession, getting it down and say mixing it up. And look, they've not been scared sometimes to turn West Brom, but there's other times when they've really been brave and beaten the press. Dieng now clears downfield. Adebayo is forward down the right, but it's ushered back towards Sam Johnston, wearing all pink, the West Brom goalkeeper, and it was his headlong dash from goal in the opening minute which probably made the mind up for Andre Gray, just to slip the ball all along the ground from fully 25 yards into the back of an unguarded net. And that's still the situation with 27 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. It's won well by Ball, quickly forward towards Gray again, looking to use his pace, but it's guarded back by Barkley towards Johnston, but the clearance goes straight to Chair, wide on the right hand side for Queen's Park Rangers. Early cross into the area, headed away at the near post by Mowat. Chair though will pick up the rebound, jabbed in field to Ball. Ball may need some support now on the far side. It's offered by Adebayo. Adebayo square to Chair on the edge of the area. He's challenged, but here is Johansson finding Willock. He just took time to bring the ball under control, invited that challenge from Livermore, but Queen's Park Rangers are still keeping the attack going here, and eventually the challenge comes in on Ball from reach on the far side, and it will be a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, excellent pressing from QPR. Initially when Sam Johnson had the ball in his hands, there was a full press on, he did a decent throw to get it out. Then when the ball went back in, back pass from Bartley, I'm not sure what Sam Johnson was actually trying to do there, who was trying to hit, but that kept the pressure on, and they've really locked on well, QPR, and didn't allow West Brom out. So we knew West Brom would press with intensity and intelligence. This QPR team are pressing very well.
Another high ball is played downfield, looking for Diangana, and it's straight out of play.
Yeah, again, because the press is good, they can't play forward with any quality, and that's because QPR again just locked straight onto West Brom, and this is brilliant as far as QPR are concerned for an away performance. Is exactly what they'd be wanting this evening.
Now Willock twisting and turning away from a couple of challenges on the far side, but it's eventually won back by Townsend, but he slips it forward. Device wins it back for Queen's Park Rangers. Johansson skipped it into space down the left, but Chera comes short, and it's gathered by Johnston. He does play it short this time to Ajayi, but again the ball into Diangana is cut out by Barbe. Here is Chera, back heel from him to try and release Barbe down the left. Diangana doing his defensive duties. Another back heel from Barbe, and this time it hits Diangana, goes out for a throw-in, forward towards Chair, and of course he wasn't offside, so Furlong had to make the challenge by the byline, and it's another throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers just beneath us here.
Yeah, good tracking back from Diangana, but again it was really well intercepted by QPR. Every time West Brom were trying to find any little passing lanes into their front men, QPR read it, jumped on it, and then got bodies forward, and for some reason the ball's not coming back here. QPR won't mind because they're winning, but Barbe, who we wondered how he would do in this left wing back role, so far tonight I think he's done pretty well.
And the ball is eventually thrown back by somebody in the stand beneath us, but it's a throw-in for Queen's Park Rangers, leading here with half an hour played by a 0-0, and no question they have been the better team. Johansson heads it forward, looking for Chair, and it's just volleyed away by Livermore, but there's time for Adebayo to bring the ball down and guide it back to Dieng. But the only thing in the back of Mark Warburton's mind maybe they need the second goal.
Yeah, because as much as I think they've looked the better team and been controlled, they've got the early goal, but I can't think of another serious save that Sam Johnson's had to make. But yeah, of course, he's going to know there's some threats in this West Brom side, so he'd love a second goal now to really cement this.
Another loose clearance finds Chair for Queen's Park Rangers, and he tried to arc the ball in behind the back three looking for Gray, but Johnston was outside his penalty area to clear. Now ball finding Johansson, and Dunn will find Barbe down the left, just in front of Mark Warburton, who is directing the traffic inside the Queen's Park Rangers technical area. It's laid off by Gray, but beyond Willock, and it's gathered by Johnston. And you can hear the fans in the Birmingham Road end behind the goal away to our left. They are getting into their team here.
Yeah, well, I think Bartley wanted the ball playing short, whereas Sam Johnson saying, well, I've got to kick it long, get up. But now a few of the other fans have maybe tried to applaud a little or is that just some subs warming up? I'm not sure. Charlie Austin, was it for?
Charlie Austin is warming up on this near side. He was a very popular figure during his time with West Brom. Scored 10 goals in their promotion season, and most of those came from the bench. I remember him stepping off the bench when the Baggies were 2-1 down at Birmingham and scoring 2 late goals to win that game.
Yeah, and he'll be wanting to do that tonight, won't he? As much as getting applaud now.
We've got West Brom against Birmingham coming up in a few weeks on a Friday night on TalkSport 2. Birmingham, of course, just having 1 or 2 problems at the moment after a good start to the season. Charlie Austin is currently deep in conversation with Callum Robinson. And Austin might be saying to him, it's a bit different from when I played here.
Different style of football.
Not sure he would have appreciated galloping into the channels all the time. Not really his game. As Dickey hooks the ball away on the far side, he was looking for Dieng to come out and claim the ball, but it's a throw-in for West Brom, taken short to Mowat, back towards Reach, who can break into the penalty area, delivers a left-footed cross in, but there was nobody there in a West Brom shirt. Volley clear up towards the halfway line, quickly returned by Furlong. Now with his back to goal, it's Phillips on the edge of the area. Mowat clips it over the top to find Furlong, and a key touch in there from Barbe to guide it back towards his goalkeeper. There were appeals for a back pass from some of the Albion fans, but Barbe wasn't really in control of that, but it was the right idea. Now Johnston comes outside his penalty area once again to deal with a long ball forward and has to leap and head the ball out of play.
It's just crazy because again you're looking at the pace on that ball. If Sam Johnson starts, so usually back in the day when I played, or most teams that you see, I don't even care back in the day, you wait just inside your box, wait for it to beat your defenders, and then if you have to come onto it you clear it. But because his starting position is so high, you can't wait for it to come in his box, and as you said there, that's a header nearly at full extended and gets, doesn't allow West Brom.
Could have gone anywhere as well.
It's very, very risky. Could have bounced over him. Crazy style when you watch it live.
Now Livermore for West Brom. Dinks the ball over the top for Phillips. Down the right-hand side, the cross into the penalty area. Header is a brilliant save from Dieng, and then it's hooked away inside the 6-yard box. And it was Adam Reach arriving with a powerful downward header, and Dieng somehow pulled it out. Now Johansson plays it forward looking for Gray down the right-hand side, and this time Johnston stays inside his penalty area and gathers for West Brom. But Dieng making his first really important save at the other end.
Yeah, and if you're going to come to a team like West Brom, who are going to be promotion favourites, you need your keeper to make a good save. Turned into the picture, stood there. Yes, it sort of hit him, but his positioning was brilliant. He turned flat to the line. But that's one of the first times for me that West Brom have actually got players in all the good positions. You said a few times, good balls come in, players not there, but top save from Dieng.
Ian Garner hooks it into the area, looking for Livermore again, but Device plays it back to Dieng inside his 6-yard area, and he just bangs the ball straight out of play. 35 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. West Brom 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Matt Murray and Nigel Adderley alongside Dan Windle here at the Hawthorns on a very warm evening for late September. The weather is due to break after the weekend, so enjoy the sunshine if you're out and about watching a game over the next couple of days. Rain and cooler temperatures are on the way for October. Furlong again has a long run up on this near side to hurl in the long throw, He almost slips, but it's still in towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Cleared away initially, and then Chair was back there to volley the ball away. Mowat steps in to win it ahead of Chair, but the ball not sticking for West Brom, and Queen's Park Rangers will try and break, and it's Chair into the path of Gray on this near side, the left. He can cut back in field. Chair makes the run into the penalty area, but Gray goes on his own, the wrong decision, and in the end it's swooped on by Johnston.
Yeah, so you can see every time QPR get in that position, Gray just pulls on the shoulder, but good defending from Townsend that time.
Ajay with a headlong burst out from the back, but he's given the ball away. Barbe now finding Chair again. He's drawn 3 West Brom players towards him, and eventually it's won back by Ajay. Mowat finding Dean Garner, but Dunn stands firm, and it will be a throw in to West Brom, just in front of Valerian Ismail on this near side. And he was saying before this game, you're not going to take the motorway back to the Premier League. Well, in this part of the world, you can't get the motorway anywhere, can you, at times?
You're not wrong. Well, that is what you have to get welcome to around this Spaghetti Junction sort of area, and that for sure.
Yeah, M6 is shut tonight. And following this game, Reach with a corner, or rather a cross into the corner of the penalty area. It's cleared away, but Albion do have a throw-in. Now Livermore, midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. 37 minutes played. The first minute goal from Andre Gray, still dividing the two sides here. Phillips, wide towards Reach again. And here is Townsend, the central defender, but of course he was developed as a fullback, so he'll be comfortable in the wide area. Mowat forward towards Grant, who tries a back heel to release someone on the edge of the penalty area, and Queen's Park Rangers will clear, although Dickey has head in hands as he sweeps it straight out of play on this near side.
Not like him, is it, that?
No.
He's been excellent this year, but I see Adam Murray there straight away knocking the ball back to his team, trying to get West Brom's tempo up.
Furlong will chase down the right-hand side. He's done well to deliver a cross, but it had no menace behind it, and it's gathered at the near post by Dieng.
Yeah, they're just making play predictable. They've got no problem at all. You know, Furlong is the one, isn't he, bombing on more. He's getting more joy than Reach with the crossing positions, but they're making play predictable, QPR. You saw Brentford do it when we watched the game midweek, the weekend to Wolves, and it's the same here. These back threes, back fives, when they're so well drilled, they're very, very hard to penetrate.
Difference is, though, Brentford very quickly got the second goal to have that cushion to allow them to play with that confidence, but Queen's Park Rangers are still living on the edge here. A goal up. Johnston with a long ball forward again, and Phillips leaps but is offside.
Yeah. Again, Device is one for me that I watched him at Hull a few times, liked him but wasn't fully sure, thought he could give people a chance, but I feel that every time I've seen him this season, he's another player that's playing very, very well, and Mark Warburton will be desperate for his team to get in at half-time with a clean sheet for sure, because they have conceded a few goals this season.
Bartley took a chance on the edge of his area, but he managed to evade Willock, and here is Townsend on the far side, the Albion left. A long early ball forward. Grant will chase, but Device leaps to head the ball away. Ball tries to turn on it, and he was caught and fouled by Mowat, and it will be a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers just inside their own half. And Carlin Grant, of course, is effectively the lone striker. He's spending most of his time wide on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
there's nobody in the box.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's so many times that West Brom have got into good positions, and apart from the Reach header, there's so many balls that have flashed across and gone there, but you do your expected goals and everything else, and the positions that you have to get players in. There's no coincidence teams like Man City tap so many balls in, because they get the players in the areas, and it's felt with West Brom that whenever they've got forward, they haven't got enough bodies in the right areas.
The Queen's Park Rangers with 3 wins so far this season. 2 of those came away from home at Bristol City and Middlesbrough. Dean Garner, good ball wide to the left-hand side and Reach, and that was the sort of delivery required into the 6-yard area, and sliding in to concede the corner at the near post was Dickey.
Yeah, but again, ball put into a really dangerous area. I couldn't see any of the West Brom shirts there around it. Initially, it looked like Dickie had been fouled or maybe tripped, and the referee didn't see it. Ball wasn't slipped into Grant, who pulled on the shoulder, but then ball played in low, right across the 6-yard box, and there's only QPR shirts there, but it's going to be another corner now, whipped in no doubt, and QPR are going to have to defend.
Corner kick from Phillips into the 6-yard area. Dickie again rising, unchallenged to clear. Headed back in field by Grant. Now Mowat. Back up wide towards the corner taker Phillips, who will take on Odebajo. Comes in field towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Diangana, who's rather been on the fringes of the game at times. And his cross into the area does find Bartley, headed towards goal, but it's allowed to bounce on the edge of the 6-yard area, and it will dribble through towards Dieng.
Yeah, he said it, that Diangana, he's a match winner. He really, really is. And I thought in West Brom's promotion season, he was a top player, really hurting defenders at this level. But credit QPR, is it they haven't got the supply into him? Is it Diangana not finding the positions? West Brom need to be doing more, but yeah, so far, he hasn't really threatened at all. And say he's the sort of player that Valerian Ismail will wanting to dictate this game.
Well, he's not scored a goal for a year. I remember him scoring a cracker at Goodison Park in the Premier League on TalkSport last September. Phillips with a cross into the penalty area, and Diangana was diving in with Dickie, and the final touch was off the Queen's Park Rangers defender, and it will be a corner to West Brom with 2.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, good ball in. Mark the space, mark the man. Dickie recognised Diangana was a problem. He got tight to the man, got the header in. Now it's going to be another corner. So a bit of sustained pressure at the moment from West Brom.
Corner kick which Phillips will take, with the Queen's Park Rangers fans looking on behind that goal. It's an outswinger, high to the far post. Bartley rising, but it's nodded clear by Dickie. Here is Mowat, wide to the far side, a high cross into the penalty area. Bodies go tumbling, and in the end it was Furlong rising, a couple of yards out at the far post, but the ball just skipped off the top of his head behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, so Adebayo, as the play was building up on the left, he felt he was fouled. That's allowed Durlong, who's stretching, can't keep his header on target. Adebayo was looking at the linesman saying, oh, if that had gone in, were you giving it? Because he definitely felt it was fouled. What is very interesting as well is when West Brom have a corner, QPR are 3v3 against these West Brom defenders back here. So if the keeper or the clearance happens, then they'd look to counter. But they've defended the corners very well so far.
It's very interesting. We often see teams in the Premier League and the Championship pull everybody back now for a corner, but Queen's Park Rangers aren't doing that. And they've got the pace of Gray on the counter-attack. A high ball played forward here for Willock, and he was clearly offside. And there are some ironic cheers from the Albion supporters on the far side, who maybe believed that Gray was offside for the goal, but he wasn't.
No, he was really well. There was a defender, I think, playing a little bit deeper, might have been a Jaib. So Andre Gray timed his run to perfection and finished his goal very well.
Into the final minute of the first half here on TalkSport 2. Queen's Park Rangers leading by a goal to nil. But Albion will have a free kick here. It was played in field towards Diangana, but Grant was hacked down about 25 yards from goal, wide on the left-hand side, and it will be a free kick. And I wonder how many touches Karlan Grant has had inside the Rangers penalty area so far. I would guess 0.
Yeah, I would say that as well, yeah. He's not, I can't think of him having a touch in the box, and he had the one shot, didn't he, from the edge of the box, which was easily saved, but he'll be very, very frustrated. Again, this is probably a needless free kick to give away. He's going to invite pressure. Ball's coming in the box. QPR will look to hold a high line. But at the moment, he's let a couple of challenges go. Maybe he's forgot his cards this afternoon, the ref. There's no yellow cards yet. Sorry, there's tonight. No yellow cards so far.
Mowat is over the free kick as we tick into added time at the end of the first half here at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2. A single minute. Mowat with the delivery. Dickie rising. It'll drop to Diangana. Had the opportunity to volley, but instead drives wide to the right-hand side. Cross high to the far post and beyond the far post. And Johansson has the opportunity to bring the ball clear. He was looking for options further downfield, but instead goes infield towards Dickie. Now it's a long high ball down the right-hand side. Townsend brings it down well. Reach will just clip it back over the top, and it's a forlorn chase for Phillips as it's volleyed clear by Dickie up towards the halfway line. Ball tangling with Diangana. It squirts out to Livermore. Liverpool plays it square to Ajayi. And West Brom are running out of time to create something right at the end of the first half here. Furlong with the cross in, cleared away on the volley by Johansson, and it's brought down well by Gray, and Gray has been fouled by Bartley, and it will be a free kick. But before the free kick can be taken, it is half time, and you can hear the boos from the West Bromwich Albion supporters. Their team falling behind within the first minute. A breakaway goal from Andre Gray with Sam Johnston exposed outside his area, and since then the football from West Bromwich Albion has been very direct and at times directionless, and Queen's Park Rangers may believe they should be further ahead. At half time it is West Bromwich Albion 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. Thank you, Dan. Valerian Ismail is the last man out for West Bromwich Albion, and there were one or two comments from the fans around the technical area directed towards him as he went down the tunnel for half time. And there were fans on social media criticising the team last week. That can often be overblown and taken out of proportion, but we are here at the Hawthorns tonight and the fans are not happy.
Well, there was some boos there, and the style of football hasn't maybe been great, and they're obviously 1-0 down. But they need to be better this half, but they get a result and they'll be cheered off. I shall tell you that now.
But talking to some of the local journalists in the press room at half time, they said that first half was a lot better than what they served up in the previous 3 games.
Well, then, that's just speaking to some of the players.
The bar's been set fairly low then, clearly.
Well, but when you get results, people don't care. But tell you what,
Alabajo made a run down the centre. I think Bartley had hold of him there.
Yeah, the ball spun straight in. Looked like he got the run on him. A wing back comes from out to in, and again, first few seconds, ball spun in behind that West Brom high line.
Now Phillips down the right-hand side, taking on Device. Should be a mismatch in terms of creativity, but the cross fired in by Phillips is gathered by Dieng, and he quickly bowls it out to this near side. And there was an opportunity for Ball to head forward, but it's not really his game. But it is Onabajo. Onabajo has been caught by Reach, and it's a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, just that, wasn't it? He wanted that to be Onabajo going onto that ball or into Willock. It's certainly not Ball's game to go driving on like that, but lively start again already.
And early in the second half, there's been a goal in the other match in the Championship tonight between Coventry and Peterborough. Here is Ian Abrahams.
Coventry 1, Peterborough 0. They're singing, "We are top of the league, we are top of the league." Gustavo Hamer eventually steering the ball home from 6 yards out after Coventry in this half alone had 2 cleared off the line and 2 shots just go wide. Coventry 1, Peterborough 0.
Thanks, Ian. What a story Coventry City are. Mark Robbins has done an incredible job there over the past couple of years.
Very good, very, very good.
A long ball played forward by Dunn for Queen's Park Rangers. Gathered by Bartley. He just quickly returns it with a long ball, one bounce into the arms of Dieng. A reminder of the 2 sides again. Johnston in goal for West Bromwich Albion. Ajayi, Bartley and Townsend the back 3. Furlong, Livermore, Mowat and Reach across the middle. Phillips, Diangana and Grant in attackers again. A long ball is played forward for Andre Gray, and this time outside his penalty area. A high-kicking Sam Johnston will clear, but Onabajo will bring it forward now for Queen's Park Rangers. Infield to Dickey. Johansson with the long hair tied back with an Alice band will find Dickey, and he too will go back towards Dieng. Quickly the Queen's Park Rangers team. Dieng in goal, Dickey, Dunn and Device the back 3. Onabajo, Johansson, Ball and Barbe across midfield. Chair and Willock in support of Gray. Sam Johnston is playing a very dangerous game. He's outside his penalty area once again, and he hoofs the ball high into the stand on the far side. It was Willock making the run forward this time, and it will be a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers, but they do have an injury, Jimmy Dunn, further back the field.
Yeah, I think everyone would just want to regroup, take their breath, because it's been a really frantic start again, but already there's been 2 incidents where Sam Johnston is having to come out right into the right-hand channel and put the ball out for a throw. Very difficult, and the ball skidding through. For the first one, Gray through, and this time Johnston's there, but it's just such a mad high line. It really, really is.
Jordan Hugel is warming up. He got a round of applause from the Birmingham Road end. Away to our left, and Valerian Ismail was in conversation with the striker as they came back out for the second half, as Johansson clips one over the top for Queen's Park Rangers, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. So 1-0 to the R's, 1-0 to Coventry against Peterborough. Friday night football on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL, with so much to look forward to tomorrow. On TalkSport 2 alone, Manchester United against Aston Villa at 12:30. That match is not on TV, followed by Everton against Norwich at 3, as Grant makes a dart into the area down the right for Queen's Park Rangers. Plays the 1-2 with Furlong. Back towards Diangana now, crossed in over the head of Phillips and behind. And Phillips was the only real player attacking that ball inside the area for West Brom.
Yeah, again, it's really hard because they're cutting inside, whipping the ball, and QPR have held the line leaving the space. You know, there's a lot of space for Dieng there to try and protect. So it's very difficult, though, for anyone to arrive onto that, get a header and score and put it on goal. So again, it's a ball coming in to a dangerous area, but not enough bodies in there, and very, very easily defended. And we thought, how are they going to get back into this game? At the moment, apart from that one chance, they really have lacked that quality, that movement, that invention. And I'm not surprised Hugo's warming up, because they need to do something different at this rate.
TalkSport tomorrow, Chelsea against Manchester City at 12:30. Game day live with Adrian Durham, live from Vicarage Road at 2:30. Brentford against Liverpool. What a double. That's a 5:30 kickoff on TalkSport, as Grant will chase a long ball forward now for West Brom. Down the left-hand side, attacking the Birmingham Road end. He skips away from the challenge of ball, and under pressure from Diangana, Dickey has to lunge in and concede the corner.
Yeah, really good defending there from Dickey, because Seny Dieng wouldn't have been able to get there. Diangana would have been in there, so he just put the ball behind. Then that's where his goalkeeper was. Great defending. Ball, I say, in front of the Birmingham Road end. They'll be trying to suck this ball into the net, but that's better from West Brom.
Mowat will take the corner. It's an outswinger, headed away unchallenged at the near post by Dickey. Now Chair quickly forward, looking for the pace of Gray on the breakaway. Reach will head the ball down. Gray almost wins it back from him, and Reach was fortunate there. The ball eventually bobbles out of play for a throw-in, because Andre Gray was all over him.
Yeah, really good from Andre Gray. He's looking to run in behind, but also that side of his game tonight is going to be very, very important for QPR if they're going to get up the pitch. Brilliant from Andre Gray.
Another goal at Coventry. Here is Ian Abrahams.
Coventry 2, Peterborough 0. Todd Kane in for Victor Gyökeres, who's just got another ball inside the penalty return, right-footed, beyond Cornell, and now Coventry are putting on the goals their performance has deserved. It's 3 goals inside 8 minutes here, and yes, they are going top of the league. Coventry 3, Peterborough 0. Gyökeres has 2 inside 2 minutes.
Wow. And Coventry will be top if West Brom don't win this game.
Yeah, amazing. They have been so good, but it sounded like in the first half they were creating a lot of chances. Now they've come out, been very, very clinical, and it's amazing. It's amazing the job that Mark Robbins and his side are doing.
And it's very early days, but Peterborough are shipping a lot of goals.
Yeah, it looked like they turned it the corner against Birmingham City, but yeah, they are shipping goals for fun.
Now Grant, just beneath us here, as West Brom play from right to left in the second half. Mowat wide towards Reach, low ball into the area. Diangana tried an audacious back flick towards goal, but Device was in the way, and it's cleared downfield once again for Queen's Park Rangers, and they've got the outlet. They've got Andre Gray, and he's steaming towards the penalty area, but Johnston is able to clear downfield as Furlong is challenged by Barbet. It will be a throw-in to West Brom on the far side, and there are so many fans here in lovely conditions, sat there in short sleeves, and although they're going to be behind their team now for much of the game, if you're a home fan, they've been bored.
Yeah, they'll expect more, and you look at the different styles of play with Darren Moore, Slaven Bilic. Allardyce at first, all right, he's defensive, but then I watched some good games here when they took it to, I'm trying to think who it was now, but it was a fantastic performance. Might have been Crystal Palace or something like that. They played some excellent stuff, and this style of football is very, very different, especially compared to Bilic and Darren Moore. So you knew what you were going to get.
Johansson plays it down the centre. Gray brings it down, and this time the flag is up for offside, and it will be a free kick. And I think Darren Moore played almost too pure a style of football for the Championship. He tried to play out all the time, and sometimes they did get caught out. Bilic, it seems, did have that balance. Sometimes they went long, but they were always trying to be constructive.
And ultimately got promoted, didn't he? And that's what they wanted. And it just feels here that, but everybody saw the Barnsley team. They knew what they were playing in competition to
Well,
get.
they did incredibly well.
Yeah.
A team that almost went down one season, almost went up the following season.
But it's a different expectations here and a different playing staff. So yeah, very. But it is what it is. They've got to stick with it. And
Wow.
early days.
All boos. Dean Garner is being taken off to be replaced by Jordan Hugill, and the home crowd don't like that.
Yeah, probably because Dean Garner obviously being a favourite, but it's saying that if you're taking Dean Garner off, you're going to be looking to go more direct, I would say, if you're going with Hugill, where Dean Garner is that clever, tricky sort of player, but he wants to get the ball forward, you would say, more. So fans show their opinion.
Callum Robinson has also come on to replace Matt Phillips, so more pace down the right-hand side. There's a missed kick from Townsend as he looks to clear, but it's gathered by Reach. Fascinating game here on TalkSport 2. In what's becoming a very interesting atmosphere. Queen's Park Rangers leading at the Hawthorns by a 0-0. 9 minutes into the second half. Coventry now 3 up on Peterborough, and they will be top of the table ahead of the games tomorrow, unless West Bromwich Albion can turn things around here. Livermore slips it into the area looking for Hugill, and he almost gathered the ball in stride to round Dieng, but it's gathered by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think he'd just gone a bit too early, would have been offside, but it's very difficult, very organised. QPR couldn't break through, but look, if these substitutions work, then Valérien Ismaël will be be a genius, but the fans certainly weren't happy with Dean Garner being substituted.
But results are everything, particularly in the Championship, and if West Brom do come out of this game with a draw or a victory, he'll consider them justified. And to be honest, Dean Garner wasn't doing a huge amount.
He wasn't doing great, and they had his number, they were doing a job on him, but he had to change something, didn't he?
Now Robinson, challenged by ball midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, and Device will strike clear for the R's. And Willock has Gray making the run inside again, but he was offside, so Willock just holds on to the ball. Odebajo will go back towards Dickey, then spins in behind. Odebajo believes he's onside, but it's gathered by Townsend anyway. But again, the defensive play is not convincing from West Bromwich Albion. Reach will just launch it forward. It's taken down on the chest by Hugill, who was on loan from Norwich, and Hugill now will turn and look to go beyond Device on this near side, the left. Plays it back to Reach. Reach now can attack the penalty area. Robinson makes the run towards the near post. The cross is deflected onto the roof of the netting and behind for a corner.
Yeah, so to be fair to Hugill, he's come straight on, he's looked direct, he's looked willing to run, getting behind, movement's been good. That's good positive play again from Townsend from Reach trying to whip the ball in, but another corner's going to come in. But QPR have defended them so well so far.
Corner kick which the man in the mask, Darnell Furlong, will take. Of course, his dad Paul was a great favourite at Queen's Park Rangers for so many years, as was he. But it's played short. Jabbed across the face of goal by Grant behind everybody who made the late run into the penalty area. Johansson will clear. Willock is having his shirt pulled by Livermore, and it's a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers just inside their own half.
Yeah, so again they tried to be inventive with that short corner. QPR switched on, stuck to the task, but how many times have you seen a ball come in and a QPR player actually control it in their box and bring it out? Then the ball just went forward a little bit slowly. If it had got up there quicker, there would have been 3-on-3, but Livermore definitely a little tactical foul, if you like, there.
No yellow card. Chet plays it wide to the left-hand side. It's down the line for Willock, who was offside. 10 yards inside the West Brom half, and Willock turns around and berates the ball forward, because really they've got pace, they've got them on toast with a high line, but it's got to be an early delivery.
Yeah, just do it. That extra touch, and West Brom with a high line got them offside. If they'd done that one ball earlier, as you say, just that thing he's in, like Andre Gray was, and then they'll not catch them.
Ball now on this near side, the right, plays it down the line, but doesn't find Gray. Cleared away by Townsend. Short towards Callum Robinson, the Republic of Ireland international, who does have 3 goals so far this season. Grant spinning away from one challenge onto the right foot, quickly closed down by Johansson. And then a free kick will be given. In fact, no, it's a free kick for offside. Furlong the play coming back from an offside position as he tangled with Barbe, and it will be a free kick for Queen's Park Rangers with 59 minutes played here on the home of the EFL. TalkSport 2 with Matt Murray, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper, Nigel Adderley and Dan Wendell here at the Hawthorns on a very mild Friday evening. But the chilly reality of life in the Championship is looming for West Bromwich Albion here, heading for their first defeat of the season. And Coventry will be on top of the table if it stays like this. Johansson with a high ball forward, and it's glanced back by Townsend towards Johnson. Now Townsend slips it into the path of Hugel. Excellent challenge though by Dickey, who brings the ball away, plays it wide towards Chair down the right. First time cross into the penalty area is glanced clear, and Willock slips at the crucial moment. He was completely unmarked, left side of the penalty area, but couldn't gather the ball. Here is Johansson though, has support from Ball, but stepping in to win it back is Mowat. But Odebajo charges forward now for Queen's Park Rangers, and the shot from him is turned aside by Johnston. He really got hold of that left-footed Moses Odebajo, and that's a fine save from the West Brom goalkeeper.
Yeah, some really good spells there. First Dickey reading it, stepping in, then with that transition with West Brom being expansive, they played through, great ball in, unbelievable little eyebrows from Ajayi that just put it behind Willock, because they thought maybe Gray would get it in the middle. So really good play, but then they kept it alive. Excellent again from Adebayo, and yeah, really good save from Johnson, because he's doing a bit on him and he just had to throw up a hand and palm it behind and a corner to come in. So yeah, very very good play there from QPR.
And Callum Robinson has to be the ball boy. The ball was on the halfway line and he had to scamper 50 yards to regather the ball for the corner. Chair's delivery, high towards the far post, headed away towards the edge of the area. Odebajo will allow the ball to bounce, and in the end turns and goes all the way back towards Dieng, his goalkeeper, who is outside the area, lofts the ball back towards Odebajo, who's got time to bring it down and now plays it wide down the right hand side. Reach will volley the ball straight back towards Odebajo. It's flicked on by Mowat. Hugel almost plays it wide to the left and Robinson, but here is Mowat now. High cross into the area, and the header from Hugel is wide. He was leaping 16 yards out, never really got the power or direction behind it.
And you just called it there, leaping 16 yards out. It's going to be some header, isn't it, to beat Seny Dieng from there. That cross from deep, is that the right decision? I thought the initial touch from Dickey was very, very important, but then that ball coming in, very difficult to score from there. But it's been an entertaining, I've really enjoyed this game. Really, really enjoyed it.
There's a real intensity about it, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know the West Brom fans are frustrated. I feel that there's been a reaction since Hugel's come on, but they still haven't tested Dieng in this half.
And the Rangers fans all on their feet behind the goal. Away to our right, a cross in from Reach is deflected, guided into the path of Robinson, unable to turn and fire the shot in, and in the end he's given the ball away to Ball. Queen's Park Rangers now will look to break. Ball plays a 1-2 with Willock. Chair checks his run about 4 times to try and stay onside, but eventually West Bromwich Albion win the ball back.
Yeah, good recovery from Livermore, but then again when the ball came into the box, QPR players stayed on their feet and crowded the chance out.
Grant, wide to this near side, the left, and Townsend for West Bromwich Albion. 62 minutes played. And the team in blue and white stripes trail the side in blue and white hoops as players been stopped, and James Linnington, the referee, is calling Hugel and Dunn towards him. Either something was said or something was done off the ball.
Yeah. I didn't see it, I was watching where the ball was. As you say, it's quite a good 20-30 yards from the ball, but just as the West Brom fans sounded like they were getting a little bit behind their team as well. Yeah, just seeing replays, just a bit of a coming together, a bit of shoving each other. Dunn ends up on the floor, nothing more than that. Referees dealt with it, but yeah, I don't know, was there a raised hand in there? But anyway, he's dealt with it, both crack on. That will suit QPR.
Yeah, free kick for them, which is played straight out of play on the far side by Dieng. 63 minutes played. It could be a long second half for Queen's Park Rangers if they continue to offer West Bromwich Albion opportunities. And they know with a high line against them, they've got the pace to do damage, but it just needs more precision with the final ball. And a long ball is played forward on the far side by Furlong, and it's straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers. And Matt, West Brom look like a side who've run out of ideas.
Yeah, they brought Hugo on for a bit of an impact, Robinson as well. Got into a few areas, but still hadn't actually, hit the target, had a meaningful effort. And yeah, it's just, is there a plan B, or how can they do plan A any better? Because I feel that QPR is set up really well to deal with them. 64 minutes played. We welcome TalkSport listeners to the Hawthorns, where it's still West Bromwich Albion 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. A first-minute goal from Andre Gray on the break, giving Rangers the lead. And the main feature of the game has been the way that the West Bromwich Albion crowd have gradually turned on their team. It's been the high-tempo, direct football preached by Valerian Ismail, but so far tonight it has not really come off, and the home fans are not happy, Matt Murray. No, they're not. They've had one real good chance all game, which was a brilliant ball in, good header from Reeks, well saved by Seny Dieng, but apart from that, Andre Gray obviously got the early goal, and then QPR defended very, very well, had possessions of play and looked very dangerous with this high line, balls over the top, and yeah, they just looked like they've maybe run out of ideas a little bit, another way to sort of break this well-organised QPR side down.
Townsend plays a high ball forward for Queen's Park Rangers into the path of Hugill, one of two players brought on, but it's been given away, and it was a crucial recovery header there by Townsend. Ball forward looking for Andre Gray, the goal scorer, almost picked him out, but in the end it was headed away, and it will be a throw in. Queen's Park Rangers are about to make their first change. Lyndon Dykes is coming on to replace Chris Willock. Commentary continues on TalkSport 2. 65 minutes played. It is West Bromwich Albion 0, Queen's Park Rangers 1. And some fresh legs in attack for Queen's Park Rangers, and a good time to make that change.
Yeah, I was just looking at the clock, it's just getting past the hour mark. A lot of managers do make the changes then, and although West Brom hadn't actually tested Dieng, they're still getting into areas and maybe just get those fresh legs on, like you say, get QPR back up the pitch. And Lyndon Dykes, he's a hard working player.
Now Livermore inside the centre circle for West Brom, clips it wide to this near side, looking for reach, but it's cut out by Arabajo. And the early ball forward again, and Townsend's clearance almost falls to Chair, but it's won back well by Mowat. But in turn, Mowat then leaves something on Arabajo, and it's a free kick, and it's not the first time that Mowat has left at least one-footed.
I think he's a lucky boy, because the first challenge that Alex Mowat did in the first half for me was a yellow card all day. I've not seen a challenge like that at this level go unpunished, and then he's caught him again, and from a QPR point of view, he'd be walking a real tightrope now. So I think the referee says he's been very lenient tonight, but I think Mowat's been frustrated. He hasn't been able to get close, dominate a game like he'd like to, and yeah, he's been a frustrated figure.
Queen's Park Rangers inching towards their third away victory of the season already. They were beaten in added time by one of their former players, Naki Wells, last week at home against Bristol City. Jordan Hugill also had a very productive season on loan at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium a couple of years ago, when Rangers had a terrible start to the season, including a 7-1 loss here, but they brought in Naki Wells and Jordan Hugill on loan, and Hugill scored 15 goals in all competitions before moving on to Norwich on a permanent basis, where he was mainly the understudy to Timo Pukki last season, and he was considered surplus to requirements following their return to the Premier League. Johansson finding Dunn. Now wide to Barbe down the left, is given the time to turn, and he's found Dunn in the left wing position, looks to go beyond Ajayi. He delivers a cross in which was deflected into the path of Livermore. Now Furlong back towards Ajayi again, and his ball down the line looking for Robinson goes straight out of play. And you can hear the ironic cheers from the Queen's Park Rangers fans.
Yeah, because West Brom couldn't play out, couldn't beat the press, if you like. Dunn going forward, losing it, but then they reacted straight away and won it back. But what I looked for was when Dunn went bombing forward and thinking, are they going to be out of balance at the back? Not at all. They still had enough defenders back to deal with it. So, because they'll be, obviously they were going for the win against Bristol City, got caught out, but they'll want to make sure, yes, try and get the second, but at the same time not get caught out and exposed at the back.
Once again, James Linnington, the referee, is encouraging Queen's Park Rangers to move things along. Now a high ball is played towards the edge of the area, and Bartley just hands off Dykes as it bounces through to Johnston, who quickly bowls it out to this near side. Reach with the ball down the line, looking for Grant. Grant believes he was fouled by Dickey. Dickey is furious with the decision because he would have been away for Queen's Park Rangers, but it's a free kick to West Brom just inside their own half.
I thought that was brilliant from Dickey. He recognised the ball was going into Grant, got tight to him early, winning the ball back, knowing one that Grant's not going to be able to turn and run at him. Also then if he did win it like I thought he had, he's then driving in deep, into the West Brom half. Very lucky escape there for West Brom.
Now Townsend coming forward, steps away from Chair, infield towards the edge of the Rangers penalty area. Here is Reach, who will try and take on Adebayo. Back towards Townsend, the high cross is swirled in, headed away by Device, flicked away by Dykes up towards the halfway line, flicked infield by Gray, and now Chair can break again for Queen's Park Rangers, but Ajayi was alert to the danger, steps across, and it will be a throw into Queen's Park Rangers 15 yards inside the West Brom half.
He's working really hard there, Andre Gray, and you know about him running and chasing him behind, but that little flick was excellent. I wonder how long he'll be able to last, because he hasn't had loads and loads of game time. He's done a lot of intensive sprints, obviously got the goal, holding up the play, but he's been excellent so far, Andre Gray, and Warburton will be delighted with his performance.
Yuri Device is just down with cramp inside the penalty area, and Dieng is trying to help him out. There was a spell of about 30 years when no one got cramp, and in the last couple of years everyone's getting cramp.
I don't know, because the pitch is obviously, this is a fantastic pitch. Might be how much they're squeezing the pitch up and down, but the way they rotate squads, I'm not sure. To be fair to QPR, there's been a couple of day turnaround from an excellent win against Everton, but you will laugh at me here, I've got no calves at all, but for whatever reason, sometimes in goal I used to get cramp in my calves. I don't know if it was like a nervous tension, and I had the worst calves as well, but it is strange, but sometimes when lads are getting cramp, it's very, very difficult for them to run it off.
Now Adebayo plays it down the line for Dykes on the right. He keeps it in play, delivers a high cross into the penalty area, and it was a really good cross which hung in the air, and Furlong wasn't sure where ball was, so has to head the ball behind for a corner.
Yeah, I think he realised there were two QPR players behind him, didn't want to glance the ball on because he knew they'd pick it up, so decided to put it behind for a corner. But again, that's another dangerous situation. Look like they've got a lot of height as well in this West Brom side. They'll try and miss Bartley out, will QPR with this ball coming in. They're zonal, aren't they, there, West Brom?
Coventry still 3 goals up on Peterborough, and they're going top of the league as it stands. Cher with the corner, flighted into the 6-yard area, and it's fisted away by Johnston, and it was Bartley who leapt ahead of him and maybe glanced the ball away as well.
Yeah, I think it was. He does see him a lot of times in the middle of that 6-yard box. When I did see him here again, I think it might have been against Chelsea. He headed so many balls away that game.
Johansson will now take the corner on this near side, the Queen's Park Rangers right. 18 minutes to play at the Hawthorns on TalkSport 2. Queen's Park Rangers leading by a goal to nil. Johansson with the delivery, high to the far post, rising was Dickey, but the header was blocked, and both Dickey and Device were up above the defenders inside the area. Now the clearance only finds Chair breaking through into the penalty area. He might go all the way, Chair, but the shot is straight at Johnston in the end. Johnston quickly bowls it out to this near side. Mowat will try and keep the ball in play. Both he and Adebayo end up on the ground, but now Grant with a cross into the area, and at the back post, Dunn puts it behind for a corner.
Wow, end-to-end, brilliant play by Ilias Chair, dancing in there, but it was a little bit of a tight angle, plenty of power, nice height for Johnson. He got his angles right, holds it well, but then excellent goalkeeping with the throw into Mowat. How he keeps that in and plays it forward to Grant, ball whipped in, and good defending again from QPR to block the areas. Real end-to-end stuff, but Ilias Chair did so well when he drove through earlier.
Furlong will take the corner kick for West Bromwich Albion. 17 minutes to play. They still trail Furlong's delivery into the 6-yard area and all the way through the 6-yard area, leaping with Hugel. He didn't get the touch, neither did Device. There's also the Queen's Park Rangers player down, that's Dickey, and there's a call for treatment, and the home fans get even more frustrated.
Yeah, look, he'll stay down for a little bit, get a breather. He's going to come up now. I think he just took a little bit of a knee in the back, is what he's saying. But it was such a really, really wicked, dangerous ball in. Keeper can't come for it. Ends up with defenders sort of facing their own goal. No one got a touch on the end, but that's a better ball in from West Brom, because too many of their corners and set pieces hadn't missed the first man.
Now it's flicked on by Dykes, looking for Gray. He's onside on the edge of the area. Gray turns in field, he's put it through to Chair, and that was an excellent challenge from Livermore, because Chair would have been clean through.
Yeah, if that had got through, then Chair would have just taken one touch to steady himself, and then you'd have to fancy him from there. So Jake Livermore, he's been everywhere tonight. He's worked really, really hard. He's been a brilliant servant for West Bromwich Albion, to be fair. And yeah, if that ball had got through, that would have been that second goal that QPR have been craving. So good play from Andre Gray. Look, borderline offside, but yeah, brilliant covering play from Jake Livermore.
Coventry still lead Peterborough 3-0, 3 goals in 7 minutes. Now Robertson wide to this near side, and Grant into the penalty area, fires it low to the near post. Oh, it's gone through Dieng, and Queen's Park Rangers concede a very soft equalising goal. Dieng seemed to have it covered, but it squirmed away from him and just about crept over the goal line. And that is a real lifeline for West Bromwich Albion. It's 1-1.
Yeah, a horror moment for the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. He was a hero in the first half with that save, but it's good play from West Brom, good build-up play. We talked about how many times that Grant got into those areas. Well, this time he's in the left-hand corner of the box, and it's just one of those for Senny Dieng. He's panicked. If he should maybe be half a yard further forward, so then if he does spill it and panic like that, it goes the other side of the post. He's tried to trap it, tried to then bring it in, and actually that might go down as an own goal for Senny Dieng, because he stopped it and then knocked it in with his left hand into the goal. West Brom won't care, they're right back in this game. But yeah, good. If you don't shoot, you don't score, and that's what Carlon Grant's done. Hit it hard and low, and yeah, West Brom are back in this game.
1-1, 15 minutes to play on TalkSport 2, and the home crowd right behind their team now. Coventry still 3 goals up on Peterborough, and Barrow have come from a goal down to lead Newport by 2 goals to 1 in League 2. Long way back to Newport after that. Now Reach coming forward, slides it into the penalty area for Callum Robinson, and the cross goes right across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick.
Well, you always feel it when you're in the stadium. So far, QPR have been playing well. They've been running down the clock, breaking it up. There's another player down now. But look, this Hawthorns crowd that have been turning on their team a little bit. Now they've got the goal. Yes, it's come from a mistake, but then you feel the momentum change, the energy change in the stadium. QPR is going to have to stay in the game, weather the storm a little bit. But now it's West Brom who's suddenly in the ascendancy.
There will be a change for West Bromwich Albion. Osman Kaikai is coming on, and it's Device who was going off. That change would have been made before the goal anyway, I think. Stephanie Hansen is also down, receiving treatment. And the Queen's Park Rangers fans are now silenced behind the goal away to our right-hand side. 1-1. And having worked so hard to protect their lead for such a long time, Senny Dieng knows he's let his team down there.
And it's the life of a goalkeeper. He was the hero against Everton, saving that penalty that put his side through to the next round. He was the player of the season last season, but he will know, even though he made a brilliant save in the first half, that is a save that a keeper of his calibre, his quality, should be making. That's the first meaningful effort in that second half on target, but these things happen. That's gone now, so he has to know that his next intervention is a very good one, because his team could then go on to win the game. He's an experienced keeper, but QPR, as I say, need to stay in the game. They're going to have to be enforced into another change here, but yeah, you can just feel the change, and that Brummy Road are going to be right behind their team.
And it's Andre Drizel, son of Jason, who comes on to replace Stefan Johansson. And we have 12 minutes to play. And it's amazing. The crowd now right behind West Brom. having spent a good deal of the evening wondering what was going on, but a goal like that can really transform the mood of both teams. Now Dazelle quickly plays it forward, and Barbe will give chase down the left, but it's gathered by Johnston. He quickly bolted out to Townsend down the left-hand side. Adam Murray and Valerian Ismail are gesticulating wildly inside the West Brom technical area, and Hugill has drawn the free kick from Dickey, and it's wide on this near side, the left, and West Brom look to take the quick one, but now Mallett will possibly look to lift it into the penalty area.
Done well, hasn't he, Hugill, since he's come on? He's brought energy to it, a little more lightly.
At this level, he's a very effective player.
He is, he's proven. Didn't happen for him at West Ham, didn't happen for him at Norwich in the Premier League, but yeah, at this level, scores goals, he's a handful, puts himself about.
Mallett over the free kick, left-footed, high towards the far post, headed away by Dunn. And now Chair does well to control and find Adebayo. Gray makes the run down the centre, but he knew he was offside. And Johnston, a good 30 yards from goal, will now play it long downfield for West Brom once again. Hugill, though, losing out to Dickey in the air. Livermore clips it back over the top, flicked on by Hugill, but gathered by Dieng.
Yeah, so Sam Johnson a few times just thrown the ball out into his his outside centre backs and tried to get the team playing if he can. That time, as you say, 30 yards outside his box, going long. So they have mixed it up a little bit, but in this second half. But all in all, it's a mistake that's let West Brom back in.
Now the back pass from Bartley. It was closed down by Chair, but Johnston clears straight out of play, and Valerian Ismail actually leaves his technical area to palm the ball back towards the touchline for Queen's Park Rangers to restart. 10 minutes to play on TalkSport 2, 1-1. Manchester United against Aston Villa coming up at 12:30 tomorrow on TalkSport 2. That's the only place you can hear that game. Everton against Norwich is at 3 o'clock over on TalkSport. Manchester City travelling to Chelsea at 12:30. Game day live from Vicarage Road, and then Brentford against Liverpool at 5:30. Big day of football across the TalkSport network, and on Sunday a double header of action from the Women's Super League. Manchester United against Chelsea at 12:30. Arsenal against Manchester City at 6:45. Reach with a cross into the penalty area, cleared as far as Livermore, pings it in, strikes a teammate Hugill, back towards Livermore, left foot shot is wide.
Jake Livermore's I think he's been excellent this half, and he's getting forward, and been hard for Seny Dieng. If that initial shot had gone through the bodies, second shot goes wide, but again Adam Reach it is, so it's more coming down the West Brom left hand side this time. Balls coming in, many more bodies in the box that time from West Brom, which in the first half we were criticising them for that. Suddenly it feels from QPR looking in control, and West Brom thinking how they're going to get back into this. And now he probably asked both managers, it would be QPR that would be happier with the point, and they feel like they're on the ropes a bit.
Well, there is a West Brom player down now, and it's Semi Ajayi. He was a fitness doubt before this game, and he seemed to leap with Lyndon Dykes and possibly fall awkwardly. Both managers are deep in conversation with their players before Valerian Ismail strides away and looks deep in thought. Mark Warburton far more animated at this stage. The Queen's Park Rangers, who led for 75 minutes, may have to hang on for a point here. Townsend, wide towards Reach, slipped into Callum Robinson. He can't find Townsend again. Adebayo will clear. Lovely use of the chest by Chair to evade the challenge of Mowat. He's got Gray in space to his right hand side. Gray though is challenged by Bartley, and the captain for West Brom will now stride forward up towards the halfway line, finding Grant, and again it's played over the top. Hugill will chase. Dieng outside his penalty area. Hugill pushes over Dickey, who cut off his route towards the goalkeeper, and it's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, that's what goalkeepers want their defenders to do, just to block off the striker, getting a clear run at them. Hugo thinks I don't want any of that, so yeah, he just knocks him straight over and goes in the back of him, and that's a free kick now that QPR can just relieve the pressure with a little. But you just feel the momentum in the stadium has definitely shifted, and West Brom are looking the most likely.
Well, the crowd are back in the game now, and for a long time in the second half they were grumbling and groaning about what they were seeing as Barbe plays a long ball forward for Queen's Park Rangers. Dazelle will try and control in the centre circle, but Hugo quickly wins it back, but he in turn only finds Barbe, and it's back towards Dieng again. Barrow have beaten Newport 2-1 in League 2. They're in added time in Coventry, where the home side lead Peterborough by 3 goals to 0, and they are going top of the championship. A flurry of goals early in the second half, but their time at the summit could be very short-lived if West Bromwich Albion can find a winning goal here.
They'll believe they can find that. They really will. They'll think they're going to get one more chance in this game. They'll know that that's coming.
Once again, Furlong will take a throw-in on the far side. This could be the chance. And he's picked up a dark blue towel, and he's very carefully drying the ball and also drying his hands on what must be a very sweaty evening at pitch level. He's midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, but he'll hurl this deep into the penalty area. Headed away though by Dickey, controlled by Mowat. Left foot volley from him is deflected, and it's gone behind for a corner.
Yeah, just the pressure's there, and as much as when you're playing and your fans aren't behind you and they've turned on you a little, it's difficult as a player. You also feed off it when the fans are behind you and they're willing you on, and for QPR they'll just be trying to weather this storm, weather this barrage.
Coventry have won 3-0 against Peterborough. They are top of the table as it stands. Mowat will take a corner, whips it high into the 6-yard area. Leaping to head the ball away was done ahead of his goalkeeper. Now Bartley wide on the left hand side, looking for Grant. Cleared back as far as Reach though, midway inside the Queen's Park Rangers half. Reach with the ball forward, it evades Kai then puts a hand on the shoulder of Grant, and Kai is going to be booked for that, which, having seen some of the earlier challenges, does seem rather harsh.
It does seem very harsh, because yes, it's a pullback, and technically by the letter of the law it's a foul, but and a yellow card, but I'm still convinced the Mowat challenge in that first half, siving down Willock, is the worst challenge we've seen tonight. But it's been a good game. All in all, it's been a good game, played on the edge and very competitive.
Mowat over the free kick, down the left-hand side, swirled high into the penalty area. Once again it's cleared away, volley back through the crowd, and it was Grant with the shot, and again it was deflected by a lunging Onabajo, and it will be a corner. Mowat was encouraging Furlong to take the quick one, but instead he will look to play this high into the penalty area. The ball is nowhere near the quadrant as well. Furlong with the corner into the 6-yard box. Dieng comes through the crowd, he's lost it momentarily, and then the ball falls kindly for the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper, who clears very quickly downfield. He was looking for Chair, but Townsend wins it back. And now Livermore, high diagonal ball from him, from right to left, looking for Grant, who brings it down inside the area. It comes to shot from Furlong in the end, and it bounces off the lower arm of Dieng, and once again he was fortunate the ball fell kindly for him.
Yeah, Senny Dieng is a very good goalkeeper at this level, but he's had a couple, he was unlucky on the goal in the way that he knocked it into his own net, but he got lucky with the corner as it came in, sort of lost it a little, headed off him, gathered it, and then now the ball dipped on it a bit, and you've seen them be palmed in their own net.
3 minutes to play. West Brom looking for the winning goal. The back heel from Hugo. It's worked wide to this near side, and Grant! Colin Grant has surely sent West Bromwich Albion to the top of the championship. The boos and the grumbles in the first half are now forgotten as Queen's Park Rangers collapse late in this game with the Hawthorns. It has not been pretty, but once again it has been effective. West Bromwich Albion 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1.
You said it all night, Nigel. You felt that Queen's Park Rangers needed that second goal to kill the game off. They've lost Johansson, who's a good player to keep possession. Ever since West Brom have equalised, you just felt that the pressure, the tension was mounting, and they were just putting it on. They had the momentum. They win the ball back. Now they're getting bodies forward. Every pass is perfect. Little flicks, intricate play. That's what these West Brom fans want to see. And then Grant, who wasn't getting in those dangerous positions before, the ball drops to him, and it's an absolutely brilliant finish. Left foot low across the Yang into the bottom corner, and that Coventry, was it you were saying top of the league? That might be short.
They were top for about 5 years.
There we go.
Well, having tried to slow the game down for about 75 minutes, Queen's Park Rangers now need the hurry up. 90 seconds to play. They scored right at the start. West Brom may have won it right at the end. Hugill on the chase again, another long ball forward. He's got hold of Dunn's shirt, and it will be a free kick.
Well,
and the fans will leave here tonight saying great. In the first half, they were not saying great.
But, well, even midway probably until the goal, really. They weren't with them, were they? Weren't having it, and now this place has erupted. A lot of fans have obviously stayed behind, but, you know, because sometimes fans will be leaving, but they stayed. They believed they could go on to get that winner. And to be fair to West Brom, to be fair to Valérien Ismaël, I think they played him a bit more quality. I mean, the quality of that winning, what could prove to be the winning goal, they win the ball back. But the intricate play, the running off the ball, the flicks, and then the ball into Grant, who you said in the first half, he never got in the box. He didn't have a touch in the box. And this is what showed you get in the box, you have to get in those areas. And they are two. Obviously the first one, bit of fortune. The second one, top draw finish.
Grant is now going off, and he'll be replaced for the final couple of minutes here. And it's Keane Bryan who has come on to make his debut, the former Sheffield United player, as Barbe finds space for Queen's Park Rangers. Down the left, crossed into the penalty area, headed away at the near post by Bartley. It's a corner, and there will be a minimum of 6 added minutes. Of course, this was all the time that was added on when Queen's Park Rangers were time wasting.
Exactly. And Senny Dieng looks like he's going up. Oh, he's been called back.
And the Barja is saying, bit early for that, son. But it's a corner which Chair will take. Lofted in, flicked on towards the far post, headed away by Furlong. Now it's recovered by Barja. He slips as he crosses, but it will bounce all the way through to Chair. Down the left-hand side, he can isolate, reach, it then goes down. No free kick has been given, and West Brom will try and clear themselves now. It's Mowat on the far side, comes in field onto his left foot, back towards Ajayi. And Ajayi plays it long downfield again, straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Queen's Park Rangers. And the crowd here now are buoyant.
Yeah, they are. They're singing their songs and they're enjoying it. But to Valérien Ismaël, he didn't panic. He looked to his bench. He knew he needed to change things, and his subs have gone and had a real impact. It was interesting that Senny Dieng was called back. Is that the end that Alisson scored the header for Liverpool?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Both goalkeepers had previous. I won't talk to you about my afternoon at that end. It wasn't very much fun in a Wolves shirt, I'll tell you that.
The Wolves had quite a good record here, right?
Not when I played.
No, not when you were in goal, no. Now, Dickey will have to try and get the ball back towards the Yang. He's under pressure from Hugill. But Dickey has had a strong start to the season despite a couple of mistakes recently. Runs it out of play, and he'll have at least a throw-in and possibly a free kick. But will it be a concern to Mark Warburton that they're about to lose back-to-back games very late in games?
Yeah, I think it will be, because again, this is a game that they'll be disappointed that they let the goal in to let West Brom back into the game, but then don't lose it. As you say, against Bristol City, again, don't lose it at the end. You've got to manage the game in the way, of course, you want to push on. I felt in this one, the way the momentum was going, we said it, didn't we? As soon as West Brom had scored, it would have been QPR should have been the team that would have been happier to take the point, just with the way the feel was in the stadium. So yeah, that will concern Mark Warburton, because they'd had some excellent away wins at the start of the season, and is that going to be 3 defeats in a row in the league?
Well, it will be. Played 3, drawn 3, lost 3 for Queen's Park Rangers. But for West Brom, on the brink of 9 successive games without defeat in the league at the start of the season. And they will be on top before Bournemouth and Fulham play tomorrow. Headed forward by Kai. Odebajo is forward. Now Dykes looking for Kai again, but the challenge comes in from Townsend, and Hugel will just keep chasing those long balls forward. Dieng comes out, slices the clearance up towards the halfway line. Mowat wins the header, but only finds ball back to Dickey. And here is Kai again, plays it in behind, looking for Odebajo, and it's cleared away. And of course now Valérien Ismaël is happy to let the ball run through the technical area. You can't really blame him, to be honest.
Not at all. Before he was trying to keep the momentum for his team. He saw him run and knock that ball down to make QPR take the throw in. But yeah, it'll be West Brom now who just want to try and get some sort of control in this game, kill it, break it up, and come away with what could be a massive 3 points going into the weekend, and say, over to you Fulham, over to you Bournemouth.
Dieng clears long downfield, and it's glanced back by Furlong towards Johnston. But they got back in the game because of a goalkeeping error. The bigger picture is, can this style of play take you into the Premier League?
Not for me what they were playing for the first hour. Then since then, how many times have you seen Sam Johnson bowl the ball out to Townsend? They go and play, as I said, the press to win the ball back, midway in the QPR half, and then the quality in the forward runners. That's what's going to get them up, keep them at the top of this table, because they've got so much quality in this side. And you see that they've got players like Hugel who can come on and change a game. But early on, I don't think the brand of football was right.
Odebajo plays a high ball forward, flicked on by Dykes, but Gray unable to gather. And now Furlong, who looks as though he's going to enjoy a victory against his former club, plays a high ball forward, but here is Dezelle, deep into 6 minutes of added time here. Chair, and he's given the ball away. He's trying to be a bit too intricate at a time when Queen's Park Rangers needed to keep things simple.
Definitely, and look, Andre Dezelle is a good player, but he's probably got to learn that side sometimes, and that's why he's not fully maximising potential for me.
Barbe wins it back for Queen's Park Rangers on the far side. Dickey's ball forward is very quickly blocked by Mowat. Queen's Park Rangers need to get on with things here. Dickey forward towards Gray, holding off the challenge of Bryan inside the centre circle. He's got the free kick, and this could be the final chance.
Yeah, this could be that last row of the dice. I'm sure they'll send everybody up. For West Brom, they're going to have to hold that high line, make sure they get the first contact, certainly get the second contact. But for QPR, they're going to believe this is the last row of the dice and try and come away with a point, which it looked so light. It didn't look so in control, and then the game just slipped away from them.
A 1-0 lead is never really a lead, is it? Well, it is, obviously, but Chair with the ball forward, but it's, you can have one mistake and it's all over.
And that's what it is, one mistake lets you back. It's a precarious lead, but Senegeng in this half hadn't made a save up until that goal.
Now Odebajo goes all the way back towards Dieng, back to Odebajo again. It's got to be played long here. Dickey is forward, chested into the path of Kai. Needs to move down the right, and he's gone beyond the challenge of Townsend. Townsend seemed to clip his heels. Kai continues, and the referee's given either a free kick or a corner, and it's a corner right at the end, and now Dieng is going forward.
Well, it looked like he was going to give the free kick, and I think Kai has been penalised there for trying to stay on his feet, because he'd rather, I'm sure, have a free kick from a few yards outside the box down a corner, but we thought the free kick might be the last chance. I'm very sure this one will be.
Adam Murray is asking the fourth official where the added time is coming from. Chair with the corner, high into the penalty area. Dieng is leaping, it's cleared away, and that is it. West Bromwich Albion are top of the Championship. They trailed for so long in this game, but two late goals from Karlan Grant have denied Queen's Park Rangers. The first of them, a goalkeeping error from Sonny Dieng, and then Grant scoring very late on with what was a quality goal from a side who struggled to get to grips with the game for so long. The fans who were booing earlier on leave the Hawthorns wreathed in smiles. It is finished. Queen's Park Rangers 2, West Bromwich Albion 2, Queen's Park Rangers 1.